Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn with Jason. Today, I'm super excited to have Henry Zhu on the show. Um, Henry is the maintainer of Babble, the host of Hope and Source, and all sorts of other things. I had the pleasure of meeting Henry in person for the first time in Romania at JS Heroes not too long ago, and it was wonderful. So, Henry, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
So for the people who aren't familiar with your work, do you want to talk a little bit about kind of your history, your who you are, what
hmm
you know, all those sorts of good things?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm Henry. I guess background is I live in New York City. I used to work at Behance at Adobe, and then I left my job like a year ago to kind of do full-time open source. And yeah, I work on a project called Babble, but I also do recently I've been doing some other stuff too related to open source. I have two podcasts now. One's called Hope and Source, which is a podcast about faith in open source, and then I have a new one called Maintainers Anonymous, where I try to talk to people that do open source and also other people that aren't in development but maintain things, and trying to figure out what we can learn from them.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, awesome. So today, there's kind of a backstory to how we started talking about this. So our my coworker Amberly, who is one of my favorite people in the whole world. Let's look at her Twitter account so everyone can follow her. Um, Amberly wanted to learn how to build. Uh, she wanted to learn how to build Gatsby themes, and so she was looking at the Open Source website, which is this like really basic, elegant website. It does one thing and it does it well. So it tells you what the podcast is about. It shows the cover art. It lists the episodes, and then it's got some praise down at the bottom. So it's great. This is exactly what you want a podcast website to be. So she started working on a port of this to Gatsby themes, which
hmm
she put up at this Gatsby theme podcast, and from there, um, we reached out to Henry and we're like, "Hey, is this cool?" And so I was really excited that you were stoked on this. And then immediately we started like rattling off ideas back and forth about ways that this could go even further. Um,
Yep.
and that's what led to this show. So our hope today, to just kind of set expectations, is the open source website now links through to kind of a simplified player.
hmm
Um, what you had wanted to do was get a player in place that has a like jump to audio and like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And so when we
And
were
then like,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
Or like a deep linking kind of thing. So you could like share a URL with a timestamp, kind of like with YouTube. You know how like you can have like this many seconds or something like that. I think it'd be cool. It also has the what's it called, the transcripts, and then it would be like a further thing, which we're probably not going to do now, but like being able to link specific paragraphs and like say you want to share a specific sentence that someone said. I think that would be cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so we looked around for this, and there was like not a lot out there. There were existing implementations that were
Mhm.
in different frameworks that were like iframed and didn't work particularly well with React. But then we found the Syntax FM web player, which is this really great experience. Wes and Scott have open sourced this, which is amazing, and I had the pleasure of being on their show a little while ago. But so this player is kind of set up where you can scrub through the episode, go to wherever you want.
React
You can
components
play it,
work through.
and then you've got like your speed selector and a volume selector, right? So it's
Mhm.
a really nice setup, and then they have the like episode information, so you can show like times and things. Now, one thing they don't have is
Mhm.
this deep linking. And so what we started talking about was, well, let's see if the player, which is up on this repo, if this player is open source, could we just extend it um, to have that deep linking and then use this to power the Gatsby theme, which is what we're going to attempt to do in the next 90 minutes.
Yeah.
um, so
Mhm.
The way that I thought we could do this is we want to be able to roll this back up to the syntax team because Wes and Scott mentioned that was something that they were interested in. So I
Cool.
guess we need to make this player component into like a React package.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've done to get us set up here is I put together, I cloned Amberly's podcast repo, which is, I had it up here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share a link to that. And so for anyone who wants to follow along, you can follow along on these repos. Henry already shared a link to the syntax repo. But so what I think we can do is in here, we have a Yarn workspace set up. And what's cool about the Yarn workspaces is we can just throw whatever we want in there. I imagine that you have worked with these in the past.
Somewhat. We technically, I haven't gotten work for Babel, but I've used it in other things too. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So if you've ever heard of Lerna,
Mm-hmm.
Yarn Workspaces is like a simplified Lerna. So it's kind of like you have a package JSON and then you just say anything in like any sub package of the packages folder or this podcast site folder or this blog default, whatever, go into that and look for a package.json and then run the package there. And that means that for us as we're developing, we can say like, I want to install this podcast theme into
Mm-hmm.
podcast site. And you can see here that we've got Gatsby theme podcast installed. And this,
Yep.
because we're in Yarn workspaces, will resolve to the local folder,
Yeah, that's really
which is
nice.
really nice. It's like it's such a nice workflow versus having to continually publish so that you can update your packages.
Yep.
So all of that being said, what I was thinking we could do is just create another package in here for the player, and just kind of install it as a dependency. And then when we're done, we can probably refactor that a little bit to make the player its own repo, since I
Package.
imagine more
Yeah.
people will want to mess with that and use it outside of the context
Mm-hmm.
of Gatsby themes.
Yep.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. And then we're gonna use live share for this. I think I already sent you this, but let me send it
Yeah, I
over
don't know if it worked
again.
actually, so send me again.
All right, so I'm sending you that link so that you've got it. And hopefully, what'll happen is in a minute here, we'll see Henry join the session. At which point, we should both be able to write code.
Okay, I got an error, so I
Oh
am
no.
going to restart. Let's see if this works. Interesting.
Okay.
Hmm. Well, it says
Um,
you can join manually. That's interesting. Huh.
hmm. Is there
Well, let me
a
see. Yeah, I don't know how this works, so let's
interesting?
just
Okay.
see.
Well, if it doesn't work, then I guess you can
Well, it's not a big deal, yeah, but
yeah, you'll have to be my navigator. Um, okay, so I guess what we can do then is let's just start by running this and seeing where we're at. So we're gonna do Yarn workspace, podcast site, develop, podcast site.
maybe it worked.
Oh, it's just under site. That's what it is. Hey, you're in.
Okay, cool. Nice. I've never
I probably need to
actually
install
got this
my.
working before, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then this is how you know that your Yarn workspaces are actually functioning. Is you see this workspace aggregator happening all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
which is super fun. And now we do the wait for dependencies to install dance. Okay, so in looking at this, while we've got a minute, we've got this is a repo that's got more stuff going on than just the podcast theme. So what we're interested in here is the Gatsby theme podcast and the podcast site. So the podcast site we can see here has nothing in it. It's a package JSON. It installs Gatsby, React, React DOM, and our theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the Gatsby config, it just installs the theme, and there's nothing else in here. And so what this should do upon installation, fingers crossed that everything does what we want it to do.
Yeah, I guess one thing that would be nice is that you could just import the theme and then somehow it imports data from somewhere else. You don't have to do any manual uh, data manipulation.
Yeah, so that's I'm not sure we'll be able to do that within the context of this time
Oh
window,
yeah, that would
but
be a lot more.
something that's totally possible is we could set an option on the theme, and I'll just like pseudocode this out real quick.
Mhm.
If we were to set this up like this, what we could do is have an options object, and like we could set RSS feed to be
Mhm.
whatever your RSS feed is, and then the theme
Right.
could parse that RSS feed and like show
Yeah.
information from there. The only thing that we wouldn't be able to do, I guess, is well, we could set it from an option, but the like this would have to get set somewhere. These links would
Right.
have to get set somewhere, and like this praise would have to get set somewhere. But you could theoretically make options for that,
Right.
um,
Right.
or we
And
could
and
just
some of
have
that stuff might be there. I guess it depends on how the RSS feed works because sometimes like the description for the podcast might be the same thing as that, but then like that also has links and stuff. So I don't know. It depends on how you want to do it.
yeah, yeah, and that's true. So like this, we could pull from the RSS feed for sure.
Mhm.
Um, these, I guess, if you didn't want to link, wouldn't be a problem, and then like these 100% can be links in the or options. Um,
Yeah.
so it would
I
be
guess, yeah. I guess it's more just like it would be nice if you don't have to duplicate stuff that you already put in your RSS feed. But if it's not,
totally.
if it's extra stuff, then that's totally fine too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the cool thing about these themes as well is like if we want to, we can do things. For example, Amberly has this setup where you set these fragments. So like
Hmm.
you can set
Oh yeah.
credits and you can set a description, and you can throw on like a support thing, and all
Hmm.
those get pulled into different sections of the site, which is really nice.
Yep.
So let me roll this back so it'll actually work because we don't have those options configured. So we don't want to mess with that. But what we should be able to do now is if I run that yarn workspace site develop, what
Hmm.
should happen is we should get the theme with all the defaults.
Yeah.
Okay, so far so good. It's creating directories for us. That's good. Okay. All right, now and this is the moment of truth because I didn't test this code, so I'm hoping that that like because I know that when Amberly was working on it, there was stuff that we oh
Uh-oh.
Gatsby MDX. Okay. Oh, okay. So I think this might be because we went from one version of MDX to another, and there were some simplifications that may have happened between this being published and now. So if I can
It's okay. This
find,
is more like reality. So
yeah, this is definitely like the real life. So let's go Yarn Workspace, Gatsby theme podcast. And we're going to add Gatsby plugin MDX because it went stable. So it's now including the plugin.
so that's just like reinstalling the later version.
Yeah, and we're going to switch out to use
Oh, okay.
the final one instead. We've got a default layout, so that's good. And then I want to look into the source for where we're actually doing stuff with this. So let's look for the MDX renderer. And where was that error at? It was in templates episode page. Scope provider. What didn't you like?
Well, I mean, it looks like it can't read something, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's supposed to just do that. I guess we can um, see if anything's outdated here. I think this should be.
Fine. Or...
They should all be fine, but let's. I mean, I guess we can just run a quick upgrade and see. Yeah, let's just do it. So this should upgrade all of our dependencies to the latest version, except where there are major changes,
Mm-hmm.
which I hope will
Mm-hmm.
start to get us better information. The other thing that might be happening is if it's on the older version, we also might be missing MDX. Nope, these are all right. Okay. So this we don't need anymore. This we don't need anymore. How's this thing doing?
Taking a while.
I guess I should do this before I let it finish, before I start messing with the package.
I was looking at the config for the theme. It already has like there's like a praise metadata. That's interesting at the top. Or it already has a bunch of metadata, so I guess you could like override that stuff in the
Oh yeah,
config.
we sure could. Um,
Yeah. Or
yeah, so
yeah,
tweet
sources.
ID,
Yeah.
sick. Leave it to Amberly to have all of this covered already. No, that's great. So what we should be able to do then is if I go in, let me just remove those again, and then we can run yarn. And just do another yarn outdated check real quick. And I think the other problem is probably that we're importing from Gatsby MDX, not Gatsby plugin MDX. So let's just do a search for that real quick. All right, so we're not going to worry about the blog stuff. So let's go just to the... Is this the podcast? Yep. So we're going to do plugin MDX. That's the blog. That's the blog. And that's the blog. That's the podcast. And that is the podcast. So yeah, basically this the last time that we had this released, it was using the I guess the beta version of MDX. So let's try that one more time. And we'll see
So
how it goes.
the plugin version is updated.
Yeah, the plugin version, Gatsby config failed validation.
Site URL.
Where are we? Podcast theme workspace.
Well, the config.
Yeah, let's look at this. Let's see. Config. Did I break something?
I mean, you saved the.
Child site URL error.
Do you need a site URL or this one?
I don't know.
That'd be funny if you actually needed to be like it. Maybe it needs to be like HTTPS or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
funny.
I mean that's definitely possible. Let's
Just put like just a website in there.
yeah, let's try it. That would be super weird if we validated for that. No way. Wait, did
Okay.
it do it again?
Well, it's different.
Okay.
Huh.
Oh no, that's okay because that's another thing that changed between MDX and not MDX is that we
Well, it's a good thing
moved.
you know all this.
I know that. Yeah, this is one of those things where like there is a migration guide, but I'm definitely like I did this migration already, so I'm just
That's good.
aware of it. Let's
Yeah.
make sure we don't have any other queries, do another quick search just to make sure. Or
Be
actually,
interesting. Would be interesting to have code mods for GraphQL changes.
yeah, that would actually be really
I mean,
cool.
it would be easier because you could find the template strings and the certain format. So
Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, so we've got that one. Make sure that one's good. Nothing there, nothing up my sleeve. And I think that's everything. So let's try this. Nope, not quite. Oh, crap. And now I got to edit all of these too. So we're going to find again. Where was it?
which one? I guess you could search. Yeah. Oh, I see.
And
So
here.
this is a lesson in upgrading. So which is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Cool.
should be everything. Let me just double check one more time. Yep, we're good. All right. Any more errors? Come on. No, this is perfect. All right, here we go. Let's see it. What do we get?
Nice. Nice.
Cannot read body of null. No. Okay, we're getting closer
Well, at
though.
least we loaded it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
So let's see. Cannot read property body of null. That is in the description. So let's go look at this description.
Body of null
MDX file absolute path.
description. Is it because there is no description? I don't know if you have to. Um,
What's it giving us? Whoa there, computer. Keep up with me.
Amberly says might need to blow the cache. Okay.
So that's giving us MDX null. That is a good idea from Amberly. So let's do yarn workspace site clean. Oh, there is no clean. So we'll do podcast site Gatsby clean. And that just deletes all of the generated Gatsby files.
Cool.
Did it lock up on me? Did it do it? Let's see. Looks like it did it. So let's run workspace develop. Okay, now it's running the static queries. I don't think it did that on the last run.
Okay.
Try again.
Okay.
Cannot read property body of null.
Looks like it's the same issue.
Same issue. So that MDX is coming back empty. And I know why, because we, so in the theme podcast, it looks for these fragments and we haven't set those yet. So we need to pull these across. And we can do that by just doing, this one's called credits.
Do you have to create override them or there's no default basically?
There, yeah. So you can build these with a with a fallback, but is it for description.mdx or is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it capital though? No, I think that's a typo.
Okay.
So
that'd be funny if it's case sensitive.
I'm actually pretty sure it is.
It usually is on. I remember I stumbled upon this issue where it was like case sensitive on Linux or something, but not on Mac or one of those.
And let's go support. Okay, so we've got all of those things. So now if we stop and restart, there should be actual files to query,
Mm-hmm.
which should get us set up again. And so it looks like what we are doing. Let's see. So Amberly is in the chat. Um, we've got, it should be shadowing the components, the defaults that show. Okay, yeah. So it looks like somewhere along the migration path we just lost our defaults, which is why nothing's showing up. But
Sure.
now we have it.
So, nice.
Um,
Cool.
Perfect. Well, cool. All right. So we have a functioning podcast. And so what we want to do in here is we want to figure out how to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, we should look at how this podcast player works.
Yep.
And where is it? Episode teasers. Here.
Did you import it already, or is it?
Well, this is the original one, so I want to look at how it actually is set up.
I see.
Let's see.
Mm.
Okay. So this is just through Simplecast, like straight up.
Oh, it's just a link. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this is what we're going to replace,
Mm-hmm.
and we want that we want that to be the syntax
React
player.
component. Right. Okay.
So okay, I think we're officially ready to get this going. So let's call this syntax podcast player. That was the wrong thing to call that. Okay, so we're gonna delete that file, and
Name it.
instead we will create a folder.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this folder, we can move into it, packages, syntax, and then I'm just going to do a yarn init. We are going to need to clean this up later to be
Yeah.
add the author information and all that good stuff. But for now, what we can do is we can just go into the syntax stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we've got two dependencies, format time and volume bars. But for
Mm-hmm.
now, I'm going to grab these.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So I guess
Gonna
we'll
do an
put this in
index
like
or?
source. Well, we're going to have to build this, right? Like we're going to have to,
Oh.
yeah. So
Right.
let's do a source. We'll call it index. And we can drop that in here. And then we need volume bars,
Mm-hmm.
which is down here. And we can put that right next to it. So volume bars. And then the last thing we needed was the format time, which I believe was in lib.
Util.
Utils.
Util or lib? I don't know. Oh no, lib. Yeah. Format time.
Format time.
That's funny. Figure out the squiggles.
All right. Oh no, that's not what I want. I want the file. Okay. And then I can create. We'll just patch this, I guess, and we'll do
Mm-hmm.
lib format time. And in here, we should actually probably call this like podcast player, and then we can export it from an index file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that.
Probably don't need the lib folder, but you can keep it. So.
Yeah, we I assume that as we start playing with this, we're gonna end up reformatting stuff. So there will be a light refactoring happening here, but for now, let's just get familiar with what's going on. So we're pulling in like React prop types, so we need to add those. Yarn, packages, syntax, podcast player, add, React, prop types. What else we got in here?
React icons.
React icons.
That's it. The nice thing is there's not that many dependencies.
Yeah.
Or like the other files don't have their own dependencies too. So.
Yep. So no, only React there. Cool. All right. So this should be a nice, hopefully a pretty lightweight package.
Yeah.
The hell did I do? Oh, packages. I
Packages.
workspace is the word
Hmm.
that I meant. So because we've added in here, because we've added the syntax player to this, where is it at? To this packages folder, we're able
Hmm.
to just call it as whatever its package name is. So Yarn Workspace Syntax Podcast Player, and then we can just do any like Yarn command in here. So I'm going to add
Right.
dependencies.
And it just runs it in that folder.
Yep. And so we'll
Okay.
see in this the dependencies should
Mhm.
pop up in here once this finishes. There they are.
Cool.
And so the other thing that we're going to need to do is, I guess, we need to set up Babble.
Hmm.
Do you want to take over this part since you got it? I think we've also got like this terminal and stuff if you need it.
Okay. Yeah. I have not. Where am I? Oh, I'm right here. Okay. Uh, sure. I wonder. Actually, I wonder if we should look at their config. I don't know if they did some special stuff,
Oh yeah, we can definitely poke at that and see.
or did
So
they
here's
just use?
syntax.
Because I guess technically we might want to just use what they did instead of.
Um, I don't see any config
Oh, it's probably in next.
in the next config.
Oh, I see Babel loader in there.
Yeah,
I wonder
there's
how
let's
they.
see stylus loader.
I haven't used next much, so let's see. I wonder where they put it.
So yeah, this has got like Babel plugin module resolver, wrap.js.
Just wonder. I don't even know what those are, but I wonder where they're actually used. Maybe it's not used. It's like unused dependencies or something. It's probably
Let's see
fine.
what the next says.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we're
Then.
not doing any of the style stuff, so we're actually going to get
Mhm.
an unstyled
Oh,
podcast
I
player.
see.
So we'll have to go in and mess with that a little bit. But yeah, it looks like
Right.
all the webpack or all of the Babel stuff is around styles, right?
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
should theoretically then be able to just do like regular old
Mm-hmm.
uh, like uh, preset env, right?
Yeah. 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 Basically.
Okay.
Okay. That sounds fine. So I can use the terminal here then.
I think you can. I can also just do it because it'll probably be.
Okay. Yeah.
So we need Babel
CLI.
CLI,
Mm-hmm.
Babel preset
Core.
env,
Mm-hmm. And then
Babel
core.
core.
That's
Anything
it.
else? Awesome.
Yeah. That should be it. I have been. I've wanted to make this like package that just does all of it for you.
That'd
But
be awesome.
wait. Well, it would only. It would have to have a lot of assumptions. Like maybe you only want preset env. So
Mm.
and then I was thinking we could just call it Babel, like just the regular Babel package, um,
Yeah, that'd be kind
which
of
we
like
don't use
a
right now.
almost
Yeah.
like the way that like Parcel by default
Hmm.
just does like what they consider to be the easy, like the happy path.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of
I know
nice.
that there's a few things like that, and maybe we don't need to make it because like I know Jason made Preact Jason. He made micro bundle, which kind of does
Mm.
the same thing. You just like put it in, it just works.
Nice.
Uh, but yeah, okay. So we installed that. Um, I guess we'll add to the package. We could put the config in here, I suppose.
Sure.
Um, uh, and then oh yeah, comma. Okay. Um, does it save or does it like I don't know how that works.
You can just like save like normal Command S.
Okay. I thought it like automatically saves or something. Okay. And then I guess we'll have like I don't know how does it build? Do you have to run it separately or how does that like how would
Yeah, we'll have to run an actual build step. We won't
because I was
have to while
wondering
we develop, because during development, like all the code will get pulled through Gatsby's build process. Um, but yeah, we'll probably need like a build
Well,
step.
I
But
guess
I think for now, actually, if we
I mean we could just run it through it. Like what the easier thing to do is just run it through it once, I guess. But then yeah, I don't know. I
well,
guess
yeah, I guess let's maybe just let this rip and see what happens. So if we go in here, we can do our dependencies. I actually think we can just add it like this. So we go yarn workspace, um, Gatsby theme podcast,
hmm
add syntax podcast player,
hmm
and I think it'll just resolve this properly.
what does it say? Not found. Okay, so I can't find that name
So let me
for
add it
some
at
reason.
star. Sometimes that helps. Yep, there we go. And so what that does is because there's no so that pulls it in, and then like here I think the problem is
We
that
need to change
no
index, right? Yeah.
you'd have to like install it at exactly that version or something. But so we need an index, and I guess we can make that.
Source
Um,
or I guess lib
well, you could just
podcast.
export the podcast, right?
Yeah.
And so we've got export default class. And then if we make an index.js, we could do export. No, I guess we'll do import podcast player from syntax. Oh, wait, this one is the thing. Source, podcast player.
So if you do this, will Gatsby run Babel over that?
I think Yarn Workspaces just kind of like picks it up as we go. Um,
Okay.
I don't know for
'Cause then we didn't
sure.
need to add anything, right? Well, we'll
Well,
see what happens.
we will when we publish. So
Yeah, yeah,
for like
yeah,
actual use.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I'm not 100% sure here. So this may blow up in a spectacular fashion. Um, but
So we can
what I think
import
we
it
can
now.
do, yeah, is just give it a shot, and we can go to
Yeah.
episode page. Let's import podcast player from syntax podcast player. Yarn workspaces are so cool. And if I drop this right here, then I think it's going to fail because of no props. But let's just see what
See,
happens.
it's always good.
Because would it be nice if it just fails because of no props and not because it like can't import it or whatever?
Mm-hmm. See. Is there a kind of watch mode that you can do as well, or do you have to restart it? Oh,
It's
can't resolve.
can't.
It's probably just the folder name then.
Oh yeah,
Export.
that's my fault because we put it in. Where is it?
Oh, source.
I'm lost. Here we
Wait.
go. Here we go. Podcast player, and so it's just the same directory, not up a directory.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so now it's saying it compiled, and that should theoretically mean. Okay, so that
Cool.
gets us in, and we're breaking on props.
Mm-hmm.
That is all good
Good.
stuff.
Yep.
So now I guess we can start refactoring this thing to be something that we can work with.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Props.
so the prop types is just the show, and the
It's just show.
show,
It's a giant object, probably, right?
yeah. So the show, let's find out what's in show. We've got show.number.
That
Is that
seems
it?
to be.
Show.display number, show.title. Okay, so where are we using this?
So yeah, that's looks like there's URL too.
All right, so I can just start pulling these out. So we've got the
Yeah, where's that
episode
coming from? Hmm.
Okay, so episode page. So we need to provide a show, and
Mm-hmm.
show has um,
Number, number,
display number.
title, and then
Was it
URL.
URL?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see any? You didn't see any others? URL.
No.
Yep. Okay. And let's just check show. We don't like destructure it anywhere else.
No.
Cool.
See,
Okay.
current.
So these are the things that we need right now. And if we do like this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
then what happens?
Cool.
All right.
Nice. Nice.
So we've got ourselves a
Looks
working React component with a lot of broken stuff in it, but that's still pretty cool.
looks great.
Awesome. Okay. Very cool. Next, we should figure out how it's getting, because the part that we're gonna have to do next is really getting it to like load.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Like actual thing or
yeah. So we need like, so we want to refactor this to like, because it feels like right now it's kind of set up as a very convenience wrapper for a syntax FM specific thing. And I imagine what we probably want to do is figure out a way to, because I think they have like an audio component in here.
oh, I see.
So, oh, actually, maybe this is easier than I thought. So the URL is just a link to an MP3. So let's go to open source
Yeah, we just copy one of them or
and
something.
let's grab one of the URLs.
Yeah. Where is that anyway? I wonder if I've even put that on there.
Oh, you know what's going to be easier if we go to the RSS.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Um,
It should be right there. Let's see.
so the MP3.
You just search MP3. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it MP3?
Yeah. Just do .mp3.
Here we go.
Take that link. Yeah. Just copy the whole thing. Cool.
Okay, so we can put that in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then does that make this playable? Because that would be real cool. Holy
Oh,
crap.
All right, we
Something
decided to make a bonus episode. So Nadia,
Nice.
she
Oh,
wrote a
that's-
post, I think a month ago,
I mean-
about her.
Hey, what's that? Okay, that's weird.
So that, I mean, that's super cool. Like part of it worked.
Something's
We,
happening.
yeah, we're we're making progress. It didn't like the volume bars didn't like something. So let's look at what the volume bars
Right?
didn't like.
Do you think it's the styling that we have to add in, or
Maybe. Let me run this again.
her reading of a book called The Death and Life of Great American Cities. And it just talks about cities and
it
how
doesn't have
that relates
bars.
to.
Interesting. I don't know if but volume bars didn't have any dependencies, right?
It didn't have any dependencies, but that's just a straight up DOM selector. So I wonder if it's
They put
if
something.
it's looking
in
for
there.
like a dot bars.
Yeah.
Um,
Where's that? Where's that coming from? Bars.
Document. Is it in the podcast?
Well, there
folder?
is so there's a component called bars.js.
Oh,
which
so
we
it,
don't.
it's
have.
like looking for that. Interesting. Oh,
Yeah,
they
there's
they even
actually-
know what they did. You know what you did, Wes.
That's so funny.
Okay, so we can probably just drop that for a minute.
What is bars? Like if you go to their
Yeah, let's
there's
look at their
like-
website. What is
there's a
bars?
syntax components bars. Here, let me I'll just post it in here. Yeah, you got it.
Bars
It's
pause.
funny. So that's really interesting.
Is it? Do you think it's this?
Yeah, it's literally that. Yeah.
Just gonna be tweaking. Yeah, I think that's such a huge thing, and we've talked about it a lot on this show in particular about how we're
Okay.
not fans of doing the complex.
Are they importing that somewhere?
I don't
Oh,
understand
see.
why.
Components show. What's components show? It's importing bars. So there
Yes.
are more dependencies. We don't really
I don't
need
think
those
this is it.
bars.
What's
Well, like maybe it's not that one, but there's definitely bars somewhere.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's like the active playing indicator. So
That's funny.
Sort of
So we
boring
can just
stuff
get
that
rid
you
of
have to.
that.
I don't think we need that. So I think we can skip
Yeah,
that part.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, so we can leave that out for now.
That's cool though.
That is, yeah, this is a nice effect. All right. All right.
Nice. Nice.
So let's
Uh,
controls the.
where is that coming from? Oh, that's the volume bars. Wait, why is that related to bars though? Oh,
Well, I think it's because it's like the
when it's
these
playing
like
it.
faux audio bars and it animates
Right.
them.
Do
Right.
in web development that
So it just kind of like lets you know that it's playing and then stops playing when you pause, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a cool idea. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. So we have kind of at a very high level.
I guess open source and
Okay,
communities
so we
online.
just have to comment out that line then.
Yeah, and I did. So it's commented out here.
Cool.
And then or I guess episode, not player. So then we have like the speed stuff. We have the so the thing that I was interested in is trying to set the time. So they have like a scrubber here. And all we have to do is set like the audio current time. So the thing that'll be kind of interesting about this is I think what we can do is set up like a render, like I guess we're using a class component here. Probably don't have time to refactor this to be to use hooks, which would be super fun. But we maybe that'll be an episode for another day. But in the meantime, what we can do is use like component did mount to check the document hash, and like if the hash changes, then we can set the audio time. And so to let's see. So I feel like what we should do is let's take this and let's just make an element or a little like forced thing. So we have, let's collapse the constructor, collapse these, and we can do something like okay. All right. So there's render, and we'll just do like test audio seek, and we can set that to be like we'll make it manual for now, but we're gonna seek to, let's say, like how does this work?
Is it seconds or?
Maybe what we need to do is when we scrub, we can log whatever the scrub time is.
Cool.
Or what scrub time?
It's E dot something. Oh.
Native event offset X, offset width, audio duration. Oh, this is doing like percentage math. So like
so
if you're looking here, they're just basically doing percentage math of how far along the episode you are. So are they just setting this in seconds then?
We'll see. Maybe we'll see.
I guess let's just log that. And let's comment out our test stuff. And then what we should be able to do is here, look at the console and, oh, that's not going to work because I don't have a seeker, do I?
Well, if you want, we could copy paste their CSS just to see if it works. With a generated CSS. I don't know how.
Yeah, let's.
Can you just paste that into a file somewhere?
That'd be neat if it worked. Let's see.
Because they're using stylus, so then we don't have to run everything. But
Is it just all of this?
Maybe. Let me see where. Let's see, player, right? Search
Yeah.
for search player in the. Can you just do Control F? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess just copy, or you can copy that whole section. I guess just like, yeah.
Okay, so I'll take this, and then
Is there like a
for
file?
all right, I can do this in Gatsby. I know
Yeah,
it works
yeah.
here, so let's put it in the episode page.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Cool.
here we can do that, and it should. I think this is going to cause some chaos, but
Yeah, it's gonna be funny.
unclosed block. What don't you
Okay,
like?
so we weren't able to just copy everything, I guess.
Okay, so
You might
let's
have to
find the
format that.
player. And if I just take...
Well, what I could do is run. So here, you do that. I'll see if I can
Oh,
find it
you
better.
punk.
Uh,
It
what
like
the?
it
It didn't actually. Oh, Chrome. Okay. So
cool.
that's fine.
Chrome, thanks for helping. All right. Really, you're not gonna give me the whole thing? That's super frustrating. Okay.
So what we could do is just find the player CSS and then just copy that too. But
can I
it has
go
everything, right?
this?
I should have all of it. Yeah.
It really should.
Here.
Look at that. Why does it do that? All right, so let's maybe it'll do it in the server-side rendering view.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Is
Okay,
that
so
the right one? That player? Okay.
here's all the styles.
Obviously, we don't recommend ever doing this, but
But when under a time crunch, YOLO. Let's see what happens. All right, so that's the full style sheet. Hey, all right.
hey.
So
Oh, that's awesome.
okay, so this is what the time thing says. Is it's like scrubbing through the width and setting the audio time. And this is like one click out of date because I'm logging the old audio time, not the one after it's been set. But that's, so basically we just need to give it a number of seconds, it looks like. So
Is that seconds? Okay.
Yeah, let's try manually setting this to 2 minutes.
Okay.
And I think that's all it was just scrub time, event, offset. Yep, that's right.
See what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so then we got to call this from somewhere. So we have test audio
Right.
seek. Let's add another button down below somewhere.
Okay, so when you okay.
There's the audio, and this is going to look bad, but whatever. Let's just add a button that says on click. We'll run this dot. I guess we don't need to do that, do we? We can just do this dot test audio seek.
Where is it? Oh,
there we go. That's.
I guess it's not two. Oh, it's 2 minutes on there.
Abstract,
okay.
very visual. Yes, the Areopagite.
Well, it's definitely changed.
Very visual, kind of formal.
So I think our progress bar isn't quite accurate. Something weird's going on there, but it is seeking to the right place.
Right, that's good.
So what that means is that we can just kind of figure out a way to extract the hash.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we do something like if type of window, and this is just to make sure that Gatsby doesn't explode during server-side rendering, then what we can do is we can say time equals, or let's see.
Are you going to do the query string idea or hash?
Yeah, I was going to do like window.location dot hash. Well, would
'Cause
you
YouTube-
prefer query string's probably easier, right?
Yeah, YouTube does this like question mark t equals 1 or t equals whatever, but it doesn't really matter.
So what we would want to do is, like, let's just set this up. We can, this is my favorite way to work with stuff like this. So let's set it to 150 seconds, which is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And what we should be able to do is do, what is it? It's like query params.
Oh yeah, I forget all this stuff. Let's see, maybe someone else in the
URL
chat.
search params.
Oh, okay.
We'll call it query QS for query string, and that's going to be from window.location. And then what we should be able to do is QS.get
Mm-hmm.
and time.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. QS keys.
The name of the parameter. No, it should be right though. Well, maybe it's not on Windows location
Let's see.
because
Get.
I'm looking at like the MDN things. Let's see. Oh, you can do this. Yeah.
What do we got here? URL search params.
I'm just looking at this MDN doc.
Document.location.search.substring.
Or maybe just what is that? Yeah.
Or let's get, I guess at this point it would be params.get t. Okay, so that did work. So what did we do here? We did new URL search params. That's
Dot
odd that it
search.
did. Oh, so this must include the.
What's document.location then?
So that
okay.
includes the query string. Like I thought you could. Okay, so let's look at this MDN URL. I thought you could just get the search params out of it. Let's look. So if I do new URL document.location, oh, that's what I screwed up. So if we instead we do, let me reload because I think I just polluted the global namespace all over the place. URL equals new URL window.location. Okay, then I should be able to do URL.search params.get t. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
what we want. Let's do this.
Amberly's leaving. So
Bye, Amberly. Thanks for coming. Okay, so that gives us our URL, and then we need the time is going to be URL.search params dot
get
t, and now what happens if it's something that doesn't exist?
I think it's null.
Null?
Yeah.
Okay. So
So you
if
can do an if statement. Yeah. Okay.
time, or I guess we want
Or if
if
time.
time,
Yeah.
then we can set
Equals time.
time to time.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow. That's pretty straightforward. That's
All right.
awesome.
Okay.
See if
So
that
let's
works.
try this. We've got here, and let's set it way over here.
You know, acting in unpredictable ways. There was more evidence of which he.
All
Let's
right.
see.
And then let's try one more. We'll set it to 180.
Wrote there is being followed. But I know what was the exception.
Nice.
That's awesome. Okay. So now like that's easy enough. We can just whenever you click, we can jump that around. The one thing that we might want to think about is that when we do this, I guess we can just look for the event and prevent the reload. Well, how would we do that? So if we have like,
Well, also right now, if you just send someone that URL, it doesn't automatically play, right? So,
that's true. So maybe we should fix that first.
like at that time too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, and also maybe it's like, I guess if you share the URL, you might even not want it to play if it doesn't have the query string, right? Because if you're just going to the website, it doesn't have to autoplay. But if you have that, it could.
And it now theoretically speaking, we should be able to set. Actually, this is a good question. What happens if I go way over here?
So like vessels for ideas.
Okay. Now I'm going to test seeking. It shouldn't play. It should just set the audio time.
Right.
No, what was the
Okay. So what we should be able to do is actually set the playback head without affecting autoplay. So whatever setting the podcast sets should be respected when you load the page, but you would still load it at the right playhead.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got things happening. So then I guess what we would want is what we want, like, if we have an episode, our episode here has, does it have like, okay. So we would want to be able to set this to be like, well, this might be where hashes become useful, right?
I guess it would be nice if like well, part of the thing what I wanted was like if you had a transcript with timestamps that it would auto add the links and stuff, but
so that
it wouldn't be hard.
it
wouldn't be hard to do either because it's really easy to copy paste like all that stuff, right? So
yeah, and I think the way that this would work is you would end up doing this as like a Babble or like a remark transform. So like you would just read the markdown AST and look for
colon
timestamps or something.
Yeah. Although it's not really a big deal because like you have to paste the thing anyway, and it's not hard to just find. Well, it depends on how hard it is to find those timestamp things and change.
Yeah, I guess it would get kind of prescriptive because it would have to follow exactly a format for that to work.
Oh, and also you have to convert the time to seconds. So there's that too.
Yeah, I mean that math wouldn't be too wild, but the
No, I meant like if you were gonna manually do it.
Oh yeah, there would be that. So this would be something that would be very nice to make automatic because otherwise it's going to be a big pain. But so here we've got this, and so that does what we want.
Oh, it does the hash. That's
it does.
Weird.
Well, I set it to do the hash because I'm pretty sure that if I do it like this, it's going to go to the home page.
Okay.
Oh no, that works.
Oh, I see.
But it does. So the catch is that that's going to cause a full refresh.
I see. Okay.
And there are ways that we could work around that. Like we could export a function from the podcast player that would like catch the event and prevent default. But then to get that into Markdown, I don't really know how that would work. So I feel like a hash might be better.
Yeah. And it's also not that big a deal that it refreshes either. So
yeah, I guess it's not a huge deal. I guess if I'm looking at a podcast, it would be odd if I click to jump the playhead and it jumped to a different place. I don't know. I have
I'm not sure.
I have questions now because I'm not sure if there's like semantic or accessibility implications of doing it one way or the other. If anybody knows, please chime in the comments. But it sounds like I mean we'll definitely do like an accessibility audit of this to make sure that it's not causing issues for people. In the meantime, however, I think for the sake of not having to write a markdown parser, I think we probably just want to do anchor links, which means that we want to rewrite this to use the hash instead. So I think we do the same thing. We do const URL equals new URL of window.location, and then we can do URL dot what?
Oh, you already did it before. Const. Or cont.
I just can't spell.
Okay.
Hash. Oh, because I don't have a hash set. So if I set this. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Does the hash?
What's up?
I'm wondering if what we would want to do is.
Oh, it doesn't have to be t equals anymore.
Yeah.
Although it looks nice if you know that t equals time, but I don't.
Yeah.
Technically, you could just do just hash and then the seconds.
Yeah. Okay, so from like
I don't know.
like a
It's weird, though,
readability, because another thing we
yeah.
could do is something like this.
Yeah.
Or we could even make it more readable.
Yeah.
Or something like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I think that
always
seems like
change
the
it.
right thing. Okay, so we can, if we do this, then we can get the URL, and then we can do like URL hash.
Like split or slice or.
Okay, so
It's always the same. It'll always be the same. So you could just do like slice, like whatever, how much that is. Oh, okay, that works too.
that give me what I want? Yeah. So that would give us our second value, assuming nobody messes with the.
Which we don't really care. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if somebody breaks the format, that would not really be our problem. But so this should work. Yeah, we can use that for now and then decide if we need to fix that later, I guess. So here's our audio seek. And then we'll get the time is going to be this thing.
I don't think you need to do all of those. I think you just do slice and then a number.
Well, but wouldn't that put us in? Because if I did it like this, then I would have to know how many numbers to go back.
Oh, I see.
Because what I'm doing is I'm breaking it into an array and then getting the last element of the array, so that it'll always just kind of break up here. Is there a more efficient way to do that?
Let me see. I thought you could just pick like how many letters it is. Let's see. Yeah, like if I did something like there's only 10 characters, so you can just get everything from the end. So just do 10 or hash dot slice 10 or get rid of the string.
Oh, okay. I see what
I'm
you're saying.
I'm just getting rid of because that's always fixed, right?
Yeah,
we're
no,
assuming
that totally makes sense. Yeah, that works.
If you want to be better about it, you can do like play from dot length or something. That would be funny.
Yeah, nah, this is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like if we wanted to be really serious about it, what we could do as well is like set up a regular expression that looked for play from equals and then a digit value and then grab that out. But I
don't need to. Yeah.
I feel like we should probably cross that bridge if somebody comes up with a use case for why they wouldn't want to just have a regular hash. So all of that being said, this then should allow us to set the playback head from whatever, and then what we can do.
If you want, you can put a comment because I guess this doesn't actually tell you anything about what the hash is. On one,
URL hash using this format.
Cool. Awesome. Nice.
Okay. So then we need a way to capture those, or I guess to listen for those clicks. And so to do that, can you just do like a...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does that work?
Let's see.
Window, add event listener.
Oh, hash change.
Hash change, not on hash change. That's me being very reacty.
But then the other thing was on hash. Yeah, it makes sense. Like in the HTML, it's on.
Okay, so let's try that. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. That's workable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I need to update our episode to use play from.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we need to add, I guess in the constructor, this feels a little dirty. Is this, how bad am I being here?
Well, we just want it to work, so there's
Hash change. And then we should be able to do like this. Yeah, but I need to do the guard. So if type of window does not equal undefined, because otherwise it'll break in server-side rendering.
Do you have to do like on mount and on mount, or does it matter?
Or yeah, I guess this would be component did mount, huh?
Yeah.
So
And I'm sure you could refactor that later with hooks and all that. So
component did mount. And then we need to do the same thing
on mount, yeah.
on mount, and we're going to remove event listener.
Mm-hmm.
And can I just remove, like, if I do it like this, does this just remove all of the...
Probably. I'm not sure.
Type listener. No, I think we have to set it. So we probably want this to then be
Main, or yeah.
here, because then we can just do the same thing here.
Okay.
I think. Here we go, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Okay, so in here we have, it's linked to play from. Did it do the thing? Let's have test audio seek log or something.
Yeah. Hard to know.
Okay, so that's not rendering properly. Oh, no, it does.
Oh, it says hello though. Yeah.
It says hello, and then it seeks. Cool. So it's
okay.
it's doing what we want.
Oh.
That's pretty cool. I guess the only inconvenience there is it's like jumping the window around.
Yeah.
So we would want to. So now we're fighting the browser. I feel I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, okay, so where we're at right now is we've got like at most 15 more minutes before we got to jump. So maybe what we can do is I can put up a pull request with what we've done, because this works. We've got seeking, we've got a podcast player that will work with stuff from the RSS feed, and then asynchronously, or maybe we put together a follow up live stream. We can play with like getting the RSS feed in here. We can play with finding a better way to solve that hash change problem. Or like maybe the other thing we could do is we don't necessarily need to change the hash when we are on page. We can just read that hash. So like if you're sharing it, you have the option like you do on YouTube to add the timestamp, but it doesn't necessarily need to change every time that you click. So we could potentially just like prevent the change from happening.
Right.
Because wouldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, you just need
Because if we did like this, then we could get like we get the new hash from the event, prevent hash from actually changing. And that way we can like make this work without necessarily jumping around the page. And then when somebody goes to share, which is a whole other functionality we'll have to build, we can allow them to like check a box that would let them set what time they wanted to start it at. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Although it would be nice if you could just like just sharing the URL. But.
Well, but that could also be like, that's something that kind of bugs me about YouTube is like when I go to YouTube and I've been watching a video, the next time that I go back, it'll like automatically append wherever I was last time to the URL.
Yeah.
And then when I share it with other people, they start the video in the middle. So I have to like go in and manually remove that timestamp. So I wonder if it would be, it seems like maybe we should default to making it an intentional thing. And then if people complained, we could always make that toggleable. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, so this seems like we made pretty solid progress. We got a podcast player running, which is awesome. Let's see, add a share on the timestamps. Ooh, that's a good idea. So you could
like
share that, which is really cool. That's a good idea. Thank you, Ryo Lambert.
So, because one thing I wanted was, I mean, this is more of a CSS thing or parsing even, is that like you have to render the markdown, but it would be nice if the timestamps were kind of like off to the side, I guess. Like if you format in a way that it just says person and then what they said, and then on the like left or something, it's like here's the timestamps. They're kind of like off to the side.
Yeah, that'd be really.
It'll read better because you don't want that number in between the person's name and what they said. So
yeah. I think that would look really cool. So like it would just kind of be like, more interview style, and the timestamp is either hovering above or off to the left or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great. Cool. Well, yeah. So that I think that's probably as far as we're meaningfully going to get, given that we've got about 10 minutes. So maybe at this point, the best thing to do would be I will just, I think I've already got a branch. I won't make people watch me, like fix my GitHub to open this up, but I'll open up a pull request. I'll put the pull request on this video description and also tweet it once it's all ready. The video will be up on YouTube later today. And we can just kind of continue this probably asynchronously, but we can play around with it for sure. Henry, where can people follow you if they want to get in touch?
I guess I'm on Twitter, left_pad. And then I guess also like Patreon, GitHub. My GitHub is not LeftPad, so it's HZOO. Although I was thinking, I was like, maybe I should change it to LeftPad. Just it would be funny, but it would be left dash pad, which is different.
Oh yeah, that almost gets more confusing.
Because you can't use the underscores or dashes on either of the platforms, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, so
yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Well, yeah, and then definitely go check out the Open Source podcast. We'll put a link on that here. And then what's the website for the other one? It was Maintainers Anonymous.
Maintainers Anonymous. And that one, I was too lazy to figure out how to redo the website, which is why I wanted to do this, stream, right?
For sure.
So I just used the default for whatever the using Transistor for that one. So, but I would like to move on to using this, or for all of them, right? So
yeah, that's and we're excited about it because like it sounds like if we get this done in a way that's useful, the syntax team is going to roll that back in and have the time linking.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool opportunities here for lots of reuse and making an actual React friendly podcast player, which I think is super exciting. Another thing that'll be really fun is this RSS feed driven podcast site. Like I think that's going to be such a cool thing to build. So I should totally stream building that. Maybe I'll get on with Amberly and we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Henry, thank you so much for coming on, man. This is great. It was really fun. I really liked digging into this stuff. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm happy to do more for this. I think whenever we could, I guess it's just like taking the opportunity to actually make this happen is good because we all want it to happen anyway. So, then also I'm trying to do the third podcast for Babble. So it's like, hey, might as well use it for that too. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, cool. So we can kind of crank on this. We'll collaborate on Twitter and everything and make as much progress as we can and see if we can't get ourselves a podcast player.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
And for everybody watching, please come back, go to the twitch.tv/JLangsdorff, hit that follow button, or I guess smash that follow button is what I'm supposed to say. Please come back. We'll be doing these. We do them every week. I've got a list of events up here that you can see. This is us today. We're going to do some stuff with Hasura and Auth next week with Vlad Novik. And then we're going to get into the Gatsby themes month. I'm taking 1 week off at the end of June. I'm on vacation. We come back into July. We're going hard on themes. So it's going to be all themes all the time for July. Get ready for that. But yeah, come follow us on Twitch, and we'll see you next time.
Cool.
Bye, everybody.